Good evening, everybody. This is Prism Radio. Today is March 24th, 2022. What a cold day it's been today. We had a string of some pretty nice weather and then right back to being cold, foggy, and rainy. But man, what a stressful week this was. I will tell you, I won't go into the whole story because it'll take too long to tell. But I never want to deal with FedEx again. UPS and USPS from now on. FedEx has some of the most asinine policies that I've ever heard of. I just want my mail, man. It's not this complicated, guys. It's really not. Can I just have my package, please? Can't go pick it up. Can't get it delivered. They gotta send it all the way back to the shipper, just so I can call the shipper and say to send it back to me, and hope that FedEx doesn't hold my mail hostage. So I got to deal with that. I've been dealing with that since Tuesday. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Decided I'm just going to travel to the store and buy what I ordered, and then just let them send it back and refund it. I'll go get it at the store. Which, I ordered it, so I didn't have to go to the store in the first place, but whatever. I guess that's just how FedEx rolls. Enough of that, I guess. But we do have a cool show coming up. It's going to be a lot of Japanese music and a lot of rock music tonight, which I'm pretty sure is what happened last week. But last week was fun and it was cool, so I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to try to get some more varied stuff next show. But there's a lot of stuff that I really wanted to put on this show that all kind of ended up being in similar categories, but it's stuff that I've held on to for a while that I've been meaning to show you guys. I just hadn't had the opportunity to. And like going into this first song, this is again, it's not really a band, it's one guy, but he does a lot of really interesting stuff. He has a lot of creativity, and there's actually several songs that I could put from him in a row, and they would be so different that I wouldn't feel bad about it, but I narrowed it down to one. And he officially his genre is listed as avant-garde metal, which doesn't really tell you a whole lot. But he has elements of doom, some kind of like jazz stuff in there. In one of his songs, he uses like actual clapping as percussion, which is something that I hadn't experienced before. I can't tell you any other songs that, or at least metal songs that do that, and that's really cool. So he's a very interesting musician, and I've loved everything that he's come out with. So we're going to start off the night strong. This is Samoyed Fresco by Thai Catafalque.
形を変えたとしてもあなたがいれば何にでもなれる気がした真っ白な夢を集めに行こう冒険が色を紡いでいくよ交わる踏み外す変わり出す未来が手招いてるよ乗り遅れないで遠くでもずっとそばにいるつなぐことのずっと離さない星に触れたよ夢と夢の狭間にね永遠は切なかったね明日じゃ会えないよ幸せ不幸せどちらも風の名前さあなたがあなたでいられたらそれでいいんだよ世界はどんな風に見えてる心が求める色が見える泣いてた笑ってた走ってたひたすら輝いてたよもう怖くないねやっと握り返してくれた繋いだ手がずっと離さない意味のない存在も愛の下で生み落とされたただのものじゃなかった折り重なる偶然が抱くセレンディピティ少しの違いで引き合うことができない素敵が始まる予感に飛び込みたいな真っ白な夢を集めに行こう冒険が色を紡いでいくよ交わる踏み外す変わり出す未来が手招いてるよ乗り遅れないで遠くでもずっとそばにいるつなぐ心ずっと離さない奇跡は起こらない目覚めを待っているだけ奇跡に驚かない手はべき愛に出会ったんだ
Welcome back to Prism Radio. That last song was Serendipity by Zach, Z-A-Q. A very high energy song, and I really like her vocal style, and she seems like she's having fun recording, which is always a big plus if you're going to try to make something high energy and fun. If you don't sound like you're having fun making the song, I don't think we're going to have fun listening to it. I don't know, that's just my feeling, but she definitely sounds like she's having a blast or she's into it. So, really good song. I should really listen to more of her work. That's really the only song I know by her, which, if you know, you know, but I really should get around to listening to more of her stuff, because I like that a lot, so I don't know how energetic the rest of her stuff is. And, boy, aren't we moving into a completely opposite direction here. Not a metal song. It's a cover of a old punk rock song by a band that I never really got into. It's funny that original hardcore I never really got into until hardcore adopted more harsh vocals. But a lot of the older hardcore just never really clicked with me for some reason, and I wonder if that's mostly just because it's a both a generational and a setting thing. Whereas if you didn't grow up in cities that had a hardcore movement, you probably just never got into it. And I certainly didn't live in any sort of hardcore cities at all when I was a kid, so that entire scene just kind of missed me. But, then hardcore started moving into harsher vocals, and that clicked in with my interest in metal, so there's probably that connection. But it's a cover of Painful Reminder by, it's probably supposed to be pronounced Snafu, but it's SNFU. I don't know what that stands for, if it's just supposed to be Snafu, I'm not sure. But it's a cover of Painful Reminder by Crippled Black Phoenix, which is a really interesting band I have heard before. They do a lot of really cool, mix between, prog rock and, depressive rock. But they go through a lot of band members. The band currently has 8 members, and they have 20 past members, so it's less of a band and more of a collective where people come and go and just kind of make music together. So they do a lot of really varied stuff, and every time they release something, usually they have a somewhat different lineup. But there's another song by them called No Fun from a couple years ago. That's a really cool song, too. I like that a lot. But moving in, this is Painful Reminder by Crippled Black Phoenix.
Every day in school throughout the city. Throughout the city, she was married, he did learn, and inside he did burn. Deep inside he burned. He vowed that never again would he open his heart. Open up his heart, and to serve as a reminder, he painted her a picture, this painful reminder. Keeps it in his binder, this painful reminder. Reminder.
した光を取り戻すため空へ隠した感情を今解き放て立ち止まってしまったのだろう誰より強くなると誓ったのに報えないかと消し去るように追いかけ続ける約束の場所へ空に交わる二つの星が共に導かれ君とならどんな道でも越えてゆけるよ交わした絆が力になって解き放って闇を裂いて二人が目指す星へこの世界が終わるまでは共に戦い続ける何度も何度も立ち上がるから前を見て止まらないであの空へこれ以上目をそらして逃げたくない乾いた心を潤すように流れる涙が過去を切り捨てた数えきれない傷や怒りを強く噛みしめて託された希望全ての想いを受け入れ抗い続ける果てなき道を何度だって立ち向かって描いていた未来へこのままでは終わらせない恐れず踏み出してゆく幻想も空想もリアルに変えるもう一度心なく火を灯してそうになっても振り返ることはもうできない光さえも届かない場所で隠してくれた願いを胸に強く抱きしめてここからさあ飛び立とう君の声が聞こえたから僕はまだ戦える忘れていたこの想いが今ここで蘇る解き放って闇を裂いて二人が目指す星へこの世界が終わるまでは共に戦い続ける何度も何度も立ち上がるから前を見て止まらないで高く手を伸ばしてあの空へ
Recall by Iris. The second opening to Twin Star Exorcists, which is a really good show, even if it did deviate from the manga. It's still good in its own right, and people are just mad that it didn't follow the manga, which is completely fair criticism. But watching it with no prior knowledge of it, I thought it was really good. And it's weird how the OPs are ordered, because the second and third OPs are really, really good. The first one's kind of generic, and the fourth one's kind of forgettable. So they really should have put the third one at the end, the second one at the beginning, and left the two more forgettable ones in the middle, I think. We've had talks about this with my friend, where how we'd order the openings because they seem kind of out of place. But another really high energy song, I really like that. A lot of energy, a lot of positive feeling behind it. Other than that, I don't really know a whole lot about that group, Iris. See, a lot of these Japanese like J-pop groups or anything like that, J-pop groups, are really like one-hit wonders, mostly just because of the anime industry. And they'll have like one super popular song, and then everything else is just, kind of there. But it's how a lot of it works, where like you go on Spotify for this one J-pop group, and they have one song that has like 10 million plays, and then everything else has under 1,000. It's really weird. And then you get the occasional groups that actually do break out and make something of themselves, like Minami. I really like her work, actually. I think it's really, really good. Moving on, we're going to head into 2 rock songs. One's kind of more of a groove metal song, and then the other is by a band that I might have played before. I'll talk about them after I play them, but you've probably heard them on the show before. If you're French, you've probably heard of this band, or at least the guy behind the band. But this next song is by a group that has very little plays on Spotify. I don't know if I've ever even seen them mentioned anywhere else. But they're pretty cool if you're into groove metal. I think they're technically groove metal. I don't really know, because they're not really fast enough to be considered thrash metal. They sound kind of like later Pantera, a little bit, is like the closest I can think of as a comparison. But I sent it to my friend who really likes Pantera and a lot of groove metal, and he really, really liked it. So, and I think they're cool too, of course, otherwise I wouldn't have them on the show. So this is Black Rainbow by Hexacon. Welcome back to Prism Radio. That was Protection by Alcest. And I may have played them before on the show. I may or may not have. Really good band. If you're French, you might know him. Alcest or Amiosaurs. The front man, his name is Neige, or his real name is Stéphane Paul, I think it is. And he is credited with being the inventor of the black gaze genre, which of course I've talked about and played on the show quite a lot. But I like that song in specific, mostly because of that midpoint with the really good guitars. I'm sure that narrows it down incredibly well. But that one chord where it's like really high pitched, it's just, I love that part. Great song overall, and a lot of his stuff is really creative and soulful. His older stuff is really has a lot of emotion in it. I think it is, because I feel like he just puts a lot of his emotional state into his music. And of course, I love his harsh vocals. They're great. I wish he did more just pure harsh vocal stuff, but of course he does pretty half and half, which is good. And he had a bunch of side projects. He worked with Lantlos. I think I've played Lantlos on the show before. So the funny thing is, like, a lot of these black metal musicians, or post black metal or black gaze, whatever, they'll have multiple bands or projects under different names, and they're pretty much just always working. And which is cool because they get to spread out their influences more. I know a lot of like Norwegian black metal solo projects. Some people will have like 12 to 20 bands that'll have one EP or one single, and then they'll just drop the whole thing. I wonder if that's just a cultural thing, just in the black metal market. I don't know, but Alcest is a great band. Anything that Neige works on, I've always been interested in. What do we got moving on? The next couple songs, I'm actually going to play 3 songs in a row. We'll play 3 songs, and then I'll have an intermission, and then we'll play our Anathema song, then we'll wrap up the show. So I'll talk about the first song first. This is Amy B with Fallen Angel. I'm sure some of you are going to know this song already, but I really like the lyrics in this song, and I like they're not drums because it's electronic, but they kind of have like a resonating sound to them. I guess you'll have to hear it, but basically what would otherwise be the snare drum in a regular song, they have like it kind of fades out. I don't know how to describe it, but I like it. I like Amy B's vocals a lot too, but I really like the lyrics specifically because it's kind of a comfy song, but then you listen to the lyrics more and it's actually kind of a sad song. So we'll move into that. This is Fallen Angel by Amy B. Prism Radio, welcome back. Last two songs were Horsey by Macross8299, which I have had on the show before. Really, really good future funk composer. Probably one of the best in my opinion, but he's also one of the most famous. But he's definitely really good. I have played him on the show before. I would play more of him, but he's already pretty well known. But there goes my problem of pretty well known in the future funk community, which is by and large not a well-known community at all in the normal music industry. So it kind of shows where my optics are going wrong. But Macross8299 is a personal favorite. He's great. And the second song, well, the third song, I guess, is Knock Knock by Scattle. Of course, a lot of you are going to know that from Hotline Miami. But that entire soundtrack's great. I'm pretty sure I have had stuff from Hotline Miami on the show before, because I know I've played Perturbator before, and I know he's on there. I would play Hydrogen by Moon, which I referenced in a previous show, but that kind of has a divisive taste in it, because I like that song a lot, but I definitely know that there are people out there that consider it like skull-splittingly obnoxious to listen to. I thought that the first time I listened to it, I thought it was, I'm pretty sure it gave me a headache the first time I listened to it, but now I like it a lot. So I really should play more from that soundtrack. It's a very good one. We are going to play the last song of the night, Anathema, as always. Got to close out the show. So thank you very much for tuning in again. I appreciate every view that I get. Have a good night. God bless. This is The Lost Child by Anathema.
I drift on a silent sea. The cold night surrounds me. Black ice forms beneath the waves of a child dream. Falling hypnotized, a voice calls from paradise, paradise, to hear my light is fading now. My heart is breaking now. My light is fading now. My heart is breaking now. A child sings.